I'm Dr. Khanna. I'm the founder and president of Dharamshila Cancer Foundation and Research Center, which we started in 1994. For almost a decade and a half, I had been chasing the dream of starting bone marrow transplants at Dharamshila Cancer Hospital, but we were not getting the right kind of faculty, because you cannot do bone marrow transplants unless you have the expertise and unless you have the thing. But bone marrow transplant is a very challenging procedure. It's a very challenging procedure because it not only requires the expertise, it also requires the passion, it requires commitment, it requires compassion, perseverance, hard work, desired infrastructure. The infrastructure is very important, and to maintain that infrastructure you require a highly sophisticated engineering department, because the BMT unit has special rooms. These are called class 1000 clean rooms. These class 1000 clean rooms maintenance, if you don't do them properly, your survival rates will go down, because clean rooms help us to prevent the infections. And most bone marrow transplant patients in most of the centers will die of infection. So if we have to prevent infection, we need class 1000 clean rooms and maintain them. And just having the rooms is not enough, you have to maintain them also. The bone marrow transplant, especially the half-matched haploidentical bone marrow transplant, is relatively a new procedure. People, scientists have been working for decades, but they were experimenting, and earlier, you see, 2 decades ago, all patients would die because they would try it only on the patient who were terminally ill, and everybody died. Then gradually 5% survival, then 10% survival. Gradually now the survival rates has come up to 80%. So when the survival rate in the European community and in the USA came to 80%, it was that time that I said, yes, we should also do something in India, which was non-existent. Since we started for the first time in India at Dharamshila Hospital, there were a lot of questions being asked by the competitors. The people who do not know the procedure, they thought we were doing unnecessarily and we will lose people, we will lose lives. But we took it as a challenge. We kept quiet for 2 years, and in the last 2 years we have done 41 haploidentical bone marrow transplants with 80% survival rates, which is equivalent to the best centers of the world where Professor Avarsa has come from. As I told you, haploidentical procedure is relatively a very new procedure. And most of the medical community, the experts, the medical oncologists who are treating the blood disorder, hematologists and hemato-oncologists, they are not aware about this new procedure. And even those people who are aware about this procedure, they are not very confident what are the results, you see, because after all, doctors, how do they update their knowledge? They go through the journal, they go through the studies, this center is doing this center is doing this. And for last 2 decades, the results were not good. So people did not want to try anything which is new and the results are not good. So as I told you, we organized this conference to make people aware about this results of this procedure, which are excellent, what we have done. And also, if we say our results are excellent, nobody is going to believe it. The other people from all over the world who are doing these haploidentical bone marrow transplants, and people in India who have also started doing haploidentical transplant, they must share with each other what are the controversies, what are the consensus, so that nobody should go wrong. It is not a question of ego that one hospital is better than the other. It's a question of saving lives. So we all must pool our data and see what all we are doing, where are we going wrong, what are our results, and how are the things working. And I was delighted to see the deliberations where most of the centers in India applauded Dharamshila Hospital for what we have done, because we presented about 20-25 of survivors who had undergone haploidentical bone marrow transplantation, and one after the other, each patient, you see, shared their stories, how they behaved and how everybody in the country had rejected them and said that, told them, nothing can be done about you, nothing can be done about you, no, you will not undergo haploidentical transplantation. And here they are, we took the challenge, they also wanted to live, and they are perfectly all right. So finally in the end, we were applauded by people from Tata Memorial Hospital, people from Christian Medical College Vellore, from Calcutta, from AIM, from RR Hospital. Everybody is appreciating what we have done. And the question is not that we are trying to sell this procedure. Our objective is, the message which has to be carried out by this conference is, yes, haploidentical is in, it can be done, but you must have the expertise, you must have the experience, you must have the desired infrastructure to prevent infection. Because if you don't have class 1000 clean rooms to prevent infection, the death rates will be much, much higher because of the infection, which was happening earlier all over the globe. And therefore, we must have the desired infrastructure. And plus, you see, the results will be different, whether the procedure is done at an early stage or the procedure is done at the late stage. So if you keep on waiting for a fully HLA MAG donor and the donor is not available, so your body will keep on withering, and finally if you do a procedure haploidentical at a late stage, the results are going to be bad, and then people will say, no, the haploidentical results are not good. So you have to choose the right people, you have to choose the right donor, you have to choose the right time, and you have to choose the right center which has all the infrastructure, the expertise, the manpower. Even the expertise and the skills and the infrastructure is not enough. You have to be passionate about it. You have to be very, very concerned, and you have to treat each and every patient like your own children. Then only the success rate will be high. Otherwise, if you treat them like Kadi number 911, room number 215, results are not going to be the same.